Welcome to another edition of Smart Chat here on YouTube.com, and I thank you for watching, liking, subscribing to this channel. If you haven't done so, please do so right now. Hope the day is going well for you. Thoughts from Raw, June 27th, 2016. Some random thoughts here. Opening segment, you had John Cena, who likes it 5 ways. Who don't like a five-way? You had one, AJ Styles likes a 4-way. That was the opening promo there. And it went to the extent of why each guy thought that they should be added into that into that main event, that battleground. But before all of that happened, Seth Rollins, and no, guys, it wasn't a shoot. I'm sure we know all of this. It was something that was scripted. But Seth Rollins was talking about the suspension, about Roman Reigns. So much so where he even, where they brought up the tweet that he made with his apologies. And Seth Rollins was pretty much calling the tweet bullshit. Something, from suspensions prior, something that you would never hear about. It was never talked about. Guys like Randy Orton would be suspended. They disappear for a while without rhyme or reason. And then I hear voices in my head, and then he's back next week. Now, this day and age, they're bringing it to light. Talking about the suspension. Which makes me think that this suspension, yes, it was serious, but not as serious as maybe some would like to think. Or else why would they mention it? Maybe the guy had just elevated levels of testosterone, whatever it may be. Maybe he was smoking weed. Maybe not that serious, what WWE would consider serious. But it was a little bit strange to me. Why, basically, a guy like Roman Reigns, who you are marketing towards the little kids, the women, small children, why would WWE, via Seth Rollins, mock his apology? Pretty much like saying that Roman Reigns is a fraud without directly saying it. Now, I ask you this question, and this question has been brought up numerous times on all the dirt sheets, kind of similar to all the John Cena heel talk. Does this open up the door for yet another possible talk of Roman Reigns turning heel when he comes back? Does Roman Reigns align himself with the authority? He's being mocked. He's being mocked. Maybe that might not be enough reason why he would come back as a heel. But here's something else to put in perspective here. Okay? At the end of that promo, at the end of that segment, after you have all these wrestlers making their case why they should be in the main event, that Battleground, I believe that's the pay-per-view, Battleground, Stephanie McMahon pretty much insults Dean Ambrose, saying Dean Ambrose is a unshaven individual and embarrassment. I have something on my lip here now. That he's an embarrassment to the WWE being the world champion. Now, I ask you, did we forget Roman Reigns is still in this match? Did we forget? Why would Stephanie not say, you know what? I am taking Roman Reigns out of this match. Roman Reigns is the guy that speared your father, speared your husband injured him in storyline as well. What did Dean Ambrose ever do to you or your family? And you want to say that Dean Ambrose is the embarrassment? Wouldn't you, in storyline, want to take out Roman Reigns from the title picture after the history that he has with you and your family? Maybe there's a reason why he's not, at least at this point, been taken out. Maybe a heel turn? Something to think about, right? I've said this before, and I will say it again. And let me just further elaborate. I think part of the problem here, make Darren Young great again, which is a gimmick that should have gone to Jack Swagger or Damian Sandow. Part of the problem here is that Darren Young was never great to begin with. And Bob Backlund is someone that has been out of the picture for quite some time, since the mid-90s. And a lot of these people don't know who he is. He comes off annoying on TV, so they don't know who he is. He comes off annoying. Maybe if he didn't come off annoying, a lot of these younger fans would research about him. But he comes off annoying. He's been irrelevant. And Darren Young has been never great. We've been seeing these promos for the last 2 months now, and we've yet to see him wrestle. The promos are bad because when you look at the promos, it's a split screen. It looks like pretty much where one is doing a reaction to the other, meaning he's watching it on the teleprompter and then is reacting. They're not in the same location at the same time. Scripted and coming off way bad. Way bad. All that we ever have week in and week out is Bob Backlund saying, Darren, did you do this? Darren, did you do that? Darren, did you do this? And Darren goes, yeah. And that's the extent of it. That's the promos week in and week out. And again, Bob Backlund has been out of the picture for so long. He doesn't know how to connect with this day and age fans no more. It just doesn't work. The loud, crazy guy, it worked in 94, 95, but not anymore. Not anymore. And the fact of the matter is, once Darren Young actually is in the ring again, what's going to be different than the Darren Young that we've seen? Fact of the matter is that Darren Young still has the same moveset. What's going to change? How is Darren Young going to be great again? Listen, Jack Swagger can't speak on the mic, that's for sure, but he could get a catchphrase over. We the people. He was a former champion. What's Jack Swagger doing right now? How is this going to work for Darren Young? Darren Young, this brings me back to like the days. You remember those promos? This feels like it's one too many promos. You remember back in the day when you had the promos for the guy from the Headbangers? Those promos were bad. Chaz Beaver, was it? You know who I'm talking about. The guy from the Headbangers went on to a singles push with those vignettes with the mom, and like he was perverted, and like a spin-off of Leave It to Beaver, but a perverted version, and that just did not go over at all. And when he debuted, that certainly did not go over as well. Leads me on to my next area of discussion. Titus, ONeil, Rusev. You noticed how Lana rather, she started off with such mic time. And now, week in and week out, you're lucky if she says two lines. Still hot as hell. But anyway, Titus, ONeil, and Rusev, this feud has gone over like a fart in church. Is that what I'm trying to... Is that the proper analogy I'm trying to use here? This has not been working at all, in my honest opinion. It hasn't. And Titus, ONeil has been given numerous of chances to do it the singles route. So has Darren Young. Titus, ONeil could cut a promo. He could cut a promo, you know, let's not get too crazy, but he's okay. And Titus, ONeil is able to connect with the crowd, something that Darren Young can't do. But this is just not working out. I'm sorry. It is not. This is not going over well. Why not? When are we going to realize, when is the WWE going to realize that Titus, ONeil and Darren Young need to be the primetime players again? Listen, they had the millions of dollars with that dance. It went over well. Titus, ONeil had the whistle. That was working out. And then they just broke him up. Because I believe they had some injury and suspension and things along that line. These two have certain flaws, and you could best hide it if you're a tag team. If you're stinking up in the ring, tag the next guy, get the hot tag, and change the momentum. I mean, listen, I said that Titus, ONeil could cut a promo, but again, I said let's not get ahead of ourselves. When Rusev verbally attacked his kids last week, and he does the rebuttal, Titus, ONeil. Titus, ONeil, can you act like you're actually angry? Because that did not sound like you were angry. You're a big, jacked up dude. Act like you're angry, please. You know, you put the primetime players together again. They could have some going back and forth with Enzo and Cass. Why not? Social Outcast came back today on Raw. Were you guys excited? Hey, but at least we got to hear the tag one too many times from Enzo and Cass when we heard Soft, that tagline. Who doesn't like that tagline, right? We got to hear it not once, but twice. Just going back to things that don't make sense. I'm sorry for all you big-time Dana Brooke fans. Just my opinion here. Dana Brooke, Sasha Banks, going back and forth. Dana Brooke is mad at Sasha. Sasha's mad at Dana. Vice versa. What are you going to do? Back and forth. And what does Dana Brooke do? A rest hold. A damn rest hold. Ring psychology, folks. Ring psychology. It's the little things that matter. And this crowd absolutely sucked. Oh boy, did it ever suck. Boy, did it ever suck. One thing that I did not get, it kind of made me scratch my head here. The main event, AJ Styles, not AJ Styles, yes, AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. Seth Rollins on commentary is saying that he's rooting for Dean Ambrose to win. Why, as a heel, would you ever say that you ever want someone to win who's not a fellow heel? Heel, I said that right. I don't know, just me. Just my thoughts. You're right just as much as I am right. Welcome your thoughts in the comment section down below. I hope all is well, and I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.